Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Last time on NAN News, we talked about why zebras are secretly just unicorns in disguise. Welcome back to today's episode of NAN News, which stands for Noah and Nico News. Today, we'll be talking about a very important topic, the Atlantic slave trade. And today, we have a special guest with us, the head of all the slave trade, Terry T. McTrader. I'm glad you could join us today, Mr. Trader.
Oh yes, thank you. Thank you for having me today. I would love to talk about my imports and exports.
All right, Mr. Trader. First question. How did all of this begin?
That is actually a great question. Well, it started around the 16th century, I'd say, when the Portuguese were able to expand overseas and reach Africa. They were one of the first to start making deals with local warlords and tribe leaders for the people in Africa, and at that time they were bringing them back to Europe.
Wow, that's crazy. Did anything else happen during that time?
Well, why yes. In 1518, the first captives were shipped from Africa to America. Also, Africa was the only continent that had slaves.
Thank you for that information. Now, I've been told by many people that people would participate in the slave trade for a variety of reasons. Why would people do this?
Well, it is true that people participate in this. One of my first slave contracts was with the British Empire. They expected around 4,800 slaves per year for 30 years. And this was assigned to the South Sea Company, which at the time I worked for. And even the British Queen Anne had 22.5% of the company in her portfolio.
Even the Queen was in on this? Did anyone else ask for slaves?
Well, yes, in a way. So you see, our trading system revolves in like a triangle.
A triangle? What do you mean by that?
So first we begin in England, and they travel to Africa. And then in Africa, the Europeans would get the slaves from Africa, and they'd make their way to America. Then in return for slaves, America would give raw materials and natural resources, such as tobacco, sugar, rice, and more, to go back to England. Then it repeats in like a triangle form.
Interesting. Very interesting. Now for my final question. How has this affected everyone?
Well, that's a great question. Well, in America and Britain, everything was going pretty good there, and there weren't too many problems, although this mainly affected Africa. There has been a big depopulation, and there is fear of captivity that makes the economic and agricultural development seem almost impossible. But Africa has suffered from this, but America and England have benefited greatly.
Thank you for this information, Commander Terry. And that's all we got time for today, folks. Let's give a round of applause for Terry.
Thanks for having me on the show again, Noah.
You're very welcome, Mr. Terry. Now, everyone, you've heard it live from NAN News. See you next week, same time, same channel.